There's two aspects of law. And I think I get caught up in this by, again, law Twitter. Who
are you going to
really
do the front hole, back hole thing again? Is that what you're talking about? The two aspects of the law?
Look, if you're not in the front hole and the back hole, I don't know what you're doing in life. But no, what I'm saying is we get caught up in two aspects of law, and there's a group of people who only want to look at one. They want to look at law as it reads and ignore the fact that law is malleable by a good argument that makes sense. There's two components of it. It's not just good argument, but it's also a good argument that makes sense for society right now. And there's law that is, and then there's law as it should be. And a bunch of lawyers are employed to make arguments about law as it should be. And if they didn't, we wouldn't have overturned Roe versus Wade, because everybody would have just resigned. Well, abortion is there forever, whatever. If they didn't argue that law as is versus law as it should be, we would have never gotten the New York State Rifle and Pistol Association, right? We would have never gotten that decision that says, they can't really do this. Law as it should be is a valid type of argument. And that's what I like about you, Branca. I didn't even get $100 to say this, but you're out here saying, look, if their analysis is sound, I don't care what the outcome is. And I think that's because there's a valid argument on a lot of sides of issues that says, no, I know what it is, but we could make it this, and this is what it's supposed to be. This is the intent of the statute or the constitutional provision. And I think we've gotten so far away from that. We've gotten so many people fucking cucked out here like, well, whatever. And like, it is eroded Second Amendment law based on this really bad ruling from 1939, U.S. v. Miller. Like, this is the quintessential law as is versus law as it should be. The founders never intended for a fucking ATF to exist ever. A licensure scheme to own a firearm is so foreign and offensive to the founding fathers of this country.
Shall not be infringed. And the language doesn't get any clearer than that. All of these gun laws, every single one of them, preemptively applied to law-abiding, mentally sound American citizens. Every single one of them is facially unconstitutional. Yep. That's the Gun Control Act. That's the NFA. That's all of them. Every single one. If you are a law-abiding, mentally sound American citizen, and the government's burden is to disprove that if they want to try, but if you qualify presumptively, you're presumed innocent until proven guilty. If you are a law-abiding, mentally sound American citizen, all these gun laws are fucking bullshit. They're all facially unconstitutional. Because, by the way, none of them stop the bad guys from having guns.
Agreed.
Anyone who's lived in a bad neighborhood knows. When I worked as a diesel mechanic in Harlem, New York, every fucking day we'd have a car pull up in our yard. The trunk would open. It was full of fucking guns. I could buy any gun I fucking wanted. No background check, nothing. Mm-hmm. If I had a couple $100 in my pocket, which I did. So, statute of limitations, but whatever.
God damn it, Bronco. Okay.
Bad guys don't do background checks. They get their girlfriends to buy the guns. Yep. They get their mamas to buy the guns.
Baby mama.
They just beat the gun out of someone else. They just beat them on the fucking street or shoot them or stab them or kill them, and they take the fucking gun. Adam Lanza.
Well, you might find it hard to take my gun, but... Okay.
Well, hold on, Nick. What we really got to do to fix this is put a list of everybody's gun and exactly where it's stored, and that's going to keep the criminals from ever taking those guns ever.
Yeah, no fucking kidding.
Obviously, because, the one crime that criminals never want to break is in illegally possessing a gun. All the other ones they don't really care about, but illegally possessing a gun is the one that they all respect. Yeah.